Hi, welcome to Nex-Tech University's advertising talk with us. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Lacy and I work with Nex-Tech in the Advertising Solutions Department. And we're going to do a little discussion today about indirect and remarketing to cover our little talk. So to share a little story to open up, I have a little 2-year-old who, a little boy, who thinks it is so fun to play jokes on mom. And a couple weeks ago, he got a hold of the TV remote and changed the channel to this home shopping network that, first of all, I didn't even know was on the TV. And the next thing I know, mom has keyed in and I'm paying attention to this cute shirt that I found. And long story short, next thing I know, I am on Google and I am searching for this online shopping company that I didn't even realize was on our television, let alone a company at all. So I head off to Google to do my looking to see if I can find the website so I can find this shirt that I absolutely have to have since my little man took the remote and changed the channel on me. So I go to Google, I do my shopping, takes me to the website, and I think, oh, everything is good. I decide not to buy the shirt. Life is good. Things go on. A couple days later, I am, of course, on the Nex-Tech classifieds looking for something for my little man. And what do you know? That little ad at the bottom there is the website that I went to for the home shopping network. It's all of a sudden, I go to, after Googling one website, it begins to follow me from Nex-Tech classifieds to Facebook. This is what we call a program known as remarketing. Remarketing, you've probably seen it in the websites that, that you've visited, and you will notice that after you've searched for something, whether it's vacations or maybe a product that you're looking at, the next thing you know, you're seeing ads pop up on all these other websites for that product or that vacation location that you looked at. This is what we call remarketing. It gives you the opportunity to reach out from visitors, to visitors, I should say, that have been to your site that maybe didn't purchase or left the site before completing a survey or any of those things. What happens is they visit your site, then they leave, and we have the ability through remarketing to take your ad and basically allow that to follow them so that you're being able to get back into that customer's view, back in their mind, so that it eventually hopefully leads them back to your site in order to purchase the product that you're selling or to complete the survey or the information that you're looking for. The rule of 7. In advertising, there is what we call a rule of 7. It takes a customer 7 times to review your product or visit your website before the majority of them will purchase. The key to being able to remarket your business or your product is to make sure that you are repetitive and consistent in what you're offering. The home shopping network that I went to, Googled them once, went on to their site, searched for the shirt, and they've showed up, like I said, on the classifieds, on Facebook, and on multiple other sites, and also on my mobile portions of not even just on the websites itself, but on my mobile Facebook, on my mobile Nex-Tech classifieds. The rule of 7 goes back to being repetitive, consistent, and continuing to put your brand and your company in front of that customer. You can't do that just a few times and think that we're going to get your customer back to your website. It has to be a consistent thing. So we have to remember when we're working on those kinds of things that you can't only do it a few times. The hidden message in that repetitive and consistent is that it brings in more customers. Obviously, the more that the customers the more customers we get to draw to your site, the more customers that we're getting your ads in front of, the more apt they are to go back to the site and gain additional information about the services that you offer or purchase the products that you're selling. Some of the benefits for remarketing. Branding. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but the more likely you recognize a brand, the more likely a customer is to purchase it. You probably, off of the top of my head, I can think of Kleenex, for example. When you sneeze or you have allergies or whatever, you don't go grab a tissue, you grab a Kleenex. That's a perfect example of branding. The more the customer knows your brand, the more they are apt to buy from you or to seek out the services that you offer. Visual logos, like your artwork, your company logo, any type of taglines, like Nike, for example. Most people don't know necessarily just Nike for just the swoosh, but they know it for just do it, because that's their slogan. Those things that are easily remembered by the customers help them draw them back to your company, back to your site, and to seek your services. When you have those logos and you have those taglines like Kleenex or Nike, it makes your brand appear larger. It makes your company appear larger. You might be just a small, mom and pop in one of our local rural communities, but having that branding behind you of the logo and those taglines really helps you appear to be a much bigger company to those customers that are seeking those services. Again, consistency. If you have advertising that you do in the yellow pages and you do some Google ads or ads on the Nex-Tech classifieds, or maybe you do radio, all of those things tie in together as your advertising program. You want to make sure that you're consistent in what you do. You want to use the same logo on all of those. You don't want to use one logo for, maybe your local newspaper and then a different logo for your yellow page advertising. Being consistent and making sure that the customer always recognizes the same logo, whether it be on your truck or your letterhead or whatever, being consistent in that helps the customer remember, and all of a sudden you become, a bigger brand than just the local mom and pop downtown. Another benefit to remarketing is targeting. Targeting via gender, location, interests, search history, quality versus quantity. All of those things are really important when you're looking to target new customers. Maybe your field is, your specific doctor, and you're looking to build your clientele for children, or maybe just women in a certain age category. Remarketing gives you the ability to literally just target those specific age groups, those genders, or that demographic that you're looking to increase in your business. Location. Maybe you have a business here locally and you're looking to expand beyond just the local area, and you want to target the town next to you. Remarketing gives you the opportunity to target a specific location. It also gives you the opportunity to target specific interests. Maybe you're looking for hunters or someone who's interested in crafts. It gives you the ability to really tailor who it is that you're marketing to. It also gives you the opportunity to review the customer search history. If you are, for example, maybe a plumber, you've known that maybe they're looking for specific parts, or they've looked at plumbers in the area for the last month. It gives you the ability to really hone in to see what exactly it is that the customer is looking for, to ensure that you have the ability to provide the services that they're seeking. Remarketing, you also have to really remember a lot of it is quality versus quantity. It would be easy and great in our minds to get hundreds of people in our door every day, but the reality of it is that you really want to decipher and spend time with those customers that that you can really help and benefit. So when it comes to the remarketing, remember that it's not necessarily all about the number of customers, but more about the quantity of those customers. And being able to target them via their gender or their location or their interest gives us the ability to know that we're actually seeking and bringing in those customers that you need to help grow your business. One of the other benefits for remarketing is budget control. When the remarketing is kind of set up, you have the ability to really literally decide how much you want to spend on those ads that follow your customer from one site to another on a daily basis. We have the ability to know that on these certain days, this is exactly how much money you would like to spend. It allows us to keep it simple. A lot of people have this misconcept that advertising is confusing and that it takes a number of key factors to keep it all together as far as money is concerned. But really, it's a matter of keeping it simple. If we know exactly what your budget is and what you want to do with it, we can help you get there. The other great part about remarketing, especially in a digital presence, is that we have the ability to monitor and tweak or change what we're doing. So maybe we find that, excuse me, that we get better return on investments if those remarketing ads are done via social media versus, a specific website or vice versa. It gives us the ability to make changes. So, it's different than a print advertising where, you choose to have something printed and then it's there for, a set period of time. In this case, in a digital aspect with the remarketing, we have the ability to make changes, that will help us, map out what we need to be doing to help your business grow. The other great part about it is that the results are trackable. So we know that if X amount of people visit your site in a day and we're using those remarketing tools to remarket to them via social media or through Google Ads or Nex-Tech classifieds, then we have the ability to track exactly where that additional click back to the website comes from so that we will know the money that we're spending, if it's better to be used on a social media platform or if it's better to be in a Google setting or classifieds or something of that example. As we kind of move forward here, we're going to talk a little bit about indirect marketing. Feel free to ask any questions as we go, and then there will be a portion here at the end that we'll be able to answer questions if you have them. So feel free to holler as we go here with any questions that you might have. Indirect marketing is completely different than any other form of digital marketing in the sense that you're actually just really using that marketing strategy to get your information out there in front of the customer without really having direct communication with them. It is literally your ability to communicate your services and your business or your brand to the customer without any direct communication. It's not user specific and it's not sales related. It can just be something generic that you're literally just trying to get information out to a regular platform of a customer base about the services that you offer and what your company can do for them as a consumer. Some of those examples of indirect marketing, for starters, would be blogs. Blogs are a really, really great way to communicate with that general consumer platform and communicating with them the goals of your business. Maybe you're a new business that's looking to expand in certain areas, or maybe you're a business that's been around for 25 years and there's new services that you offer that customers aren't aware of. Blogs are a really great way to communicate those goals. It's a great way to pull in a new audience and to educate the audience that you already have. For example, like I said, if you've been in business and you're now, for 25 years and you're now offering a new service, that audience and communicating with them allows you the opportunity to highlight those new services or the new products that you're offering. Frequency, you have the ability through those blogs to decide how often you would like to get in contact with those customers as far as that general platform is concerned. Content and your own voice. Each of those allow you to be the author of that blog. So you have the ability to communicate to that customer platform how you feel is best to communicate to individuals that you would want to be your consumers in the end. Events and recognition. These are some of the most important things that can really be a great indirect marketing tool for your company. Awards and honors. If you've been in business, for even 5 years or 25 years, and you're being awarded by maybe the retailer that you represent, or even by your local community for your years of service, make sure that's something that you broadcast to that consumer base. Let them know that you have awards and honors for maybe your customer service or your fast response time. Let them know that your customers, your previous customers or your current customers have given you great feedback. Don't be afraid to brag about yourself. A lot of that word of mouth helps build your business just as much as the advertising that you do. Project completions, internal promotions. We as business owners and working for other companies spend a great deal of time working on new projects to help grow our businesses and to help grow opportunities in each of our communities. Highlight that in your local paper, maybe even at your local sporting events of projects that have been completed or employees that have moved up in your company. You spend a lot of time, with your employees and training them and bragging on them. Not only, boosts morale for your employees, but also makes you, as a business, look great for, giving back to your employees as well. Years of service. We kind of talked about that in the sense of, if you've been around the community for years, highlighting how many years of service you've been or how long you've servicing the area. Lets customers know that you're not a fly-by-night company, that you've been here and you're here to stay, and that the service that you're providing is top-notch. Ribbon cutting, a lot of new businesses miss this. Most of our communities have local chambers of commerce. Make sure you take the opportunity to help get people in your door on that, generic customer platform. For some cookies and some punch, for a ribbon cutting, make it a celebration. Let people know that you're excited to be opening your business and get the word out that you're here and you're here to stay, and you're looking to serve them. It's a great opportunity for some indirect marketing. One of the other great tools for indirect would be newsletters. A lot of people think, newsletters. Well, a lot of the world is digital, and so how does that kind of play into the advertising setting for digital versus mailing it to customers? Well, if you make use of those newsletters to cover content, no salesy information, being consistent again with logos, your taglines for your business, you can make it a source of a customer contact. You can mail out those newsletters to those customers that prefer it to be mailed, but you can also link that newsletter to your Facebook page, your Twitter page, all of those, your YouTubes. All of those things and those tools can tie into newsletters if you choose not to go the area of the blog, or if you choose to do both. Newsletters also gives you a great way to highlight things that are going on in your company, because we know things change from one day to the next. And it might not be that you see, your customers, on a monthly basis, but having newsletters is a great way to consistently give those customers communication as far as, what your company is providing and the services that you've added. YouTube, another great tool for indirect marketing. I have some of my customers that use YouTube as a source of basically just giving their customers information. You can upload or use how-to videos. Maybe you're, again, like an AC or a plumbing company, and there's, you want to provide a how-to video like during this time of year on how to do a little maintenance on your air conditioner to make sure it's working top-notch. They can include how-to videos, DIY, safety tips, consumer tips. These are all great ways to provide free information for your customers that they're not paying. And it also helps that relationship to know that from a customer's perspective, if you're willing to take the time to provide them information for free, it's a great service, and it speaks volume about the customer service that you're already providing them when they're not even yet a customer. So they're more apt to do business with you because of the opportunities that you're giving them on a free platform. Social media, pretty much a popular one for any type of indirect marketing that you're going to do. Great points is that they're free to use. You have the ability to link press releases, different events, again, your branding, all to those social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, the YouTube, Pinterest, all of those things, Instagram. All of those platforms are free and give you the opportunity, again, to get the word out about what your company offers, what your company does, and provides you the opportunity to reach customers on a multiple demographic platform to brand yourself and get them in the door for some business. Feel-good advertising. This is probably one of my favorite. It is so easy, especially in our smaller communities around here. Anytime that ball season is around, basketball, football, soccer, all of those rec teams are always looking for sponsorships. With that logo and that tagline that you've created for your branding, pay a couple $100 to slap that on a shirt, sponsor a local team, and know that, in most cases, at least in my house when I grew up, my sister's ball shirts, she wore them all the time, and then they became my shirts. And so they kind of got passed down. And so, for a couple $100s and a small investment, you are branding yourself out there with your logo and your tagline, but you're also showing the community that you're supporting their children. And we all like to feel good, especially when, businesses in the area are supporting our youth and the growth of our communities. Fundraising, charity, any type of fundraising events that are going on local, those are always great to sponsor for some of that feel-good advertising as well. Sports, name mentions, the local high school sports or the college sports. Any little thing you can do to get your brand, your name, your tagline in front of people, they're more apt to remember it. And that helps grow your business as a whole. Donations, community events, we kind of covered some of those. Really, a lot of it, especially in our smaller towns, and really any of our towns out here, people want to do business with people that do business with them, and business within their community. So the more community support that you give, whether it's through those community events, those sports, the more apt people are to keep their business with you, and more apt you are to draw customers in to do business with you. Other types of indirect marketing, signage. This goes back to your logo, your taglines, any of that, and back to consistency. Make sure that you have those signages on the vehicles that you drive for work. Make sure you have that signage on your building. It's really about branding and consistency and making sure that when a customer is looking for an auto repair guy or a plumber or a craft store, that even though they may not remember the name of your business, they remember the logo or the tagline. How many commercials have you seen on TV that the next thing you know, the jingle gets stuck in your head and you remember the label or you remember the brand because of the jingle that they had or the tagline? That's really what the signage and the branding comes back to. The more that you get those logos and those taglines in front of the customers, the more apt they are to remember you and remember your business, and the more apt they are to call when they need your service. Free Wi-Fi. This is a great indirect marketing tool for your customers when they walk in, whether it be a restaurant or a repair place. Offering free Wi-Fi while they're waiting on your services gives them something free, and also helps them kill some time, maybe to check out some of those social media pages that you're posting to. Snapchat filters. Maybe not some of you are familiar with Snapchat, but it is kind of the new wave currently right now. But Snapchat is an opportunity for you to get your name out there and to allow your customers and your customers' kids to have fun and be kind of goofy at the same time. It's definitely would tie into one of those feel-good types of advertising. Apparel or promotional items. I don't think you're going to meet any type of customer that doesn't like free stuff. Most of the time, if you advertise free, people will be there. So getting together some shirts or some promotional items, window scrapers for the winter, or I guess I should say ice scrapers, koozies, they have calendars, all of those types of things. Any opportunity that you have to get your brand, your logo, your tagline in the hands of your customers, the better off that you're going to be. That covers the majority of the information that we had today for this episode of Nex-Tech University. If you have any questions, feel free to holler in and let us know. If you have questions after the fact, feel free to give us a shout at advertising@nextech.com. Myself, Megan or Sunel, are all more than happy to help you with any questions that you might have. Other than that, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope that you have a great day.